My name is Tarzan Flora. I'm the chairman of Purley and Woodcourt Residents Association, have been for a very long time. I have read this particular document, core strategy, and of course I've read the previous one, the Imagine Croydon, and made substantial professional comments. Incidentally, I'm also an architect and landscape architect practicing in Croydon. Comparing to the Imagine Croydon, this document, I was pleased to read this document because two things have happened. One is that you have now discontinued with the idea of intensified development along A23 corridor, simply because it's a floodplain, not floodplain, it's immune to flooding because of the valley corridor. So that's been taken out. The other one I notice in this document is that in this particular spatial strategy, that most of the concentration of development is now, although it's dispersed, it's given to places which are easily accessible from public transport. So if you look at this spatial strategy, more or less half of the Croydon, there is no development proposed in those areas at all. Places like Addington, places like Selston, Saunderstead, Canley, they're excluded from this. I'm not sure why. There should be some, if we are talking about dispersal growth, then obviously those areas should be included in these areas as well. I can't see people getting rid of their cars. As an architect, I need to go from the office every time to the site visit, and I can't rely on public transport. It's just impossible. And also people living in Purley, Coulston, Canley here, it's a very hilly area, and the transport network is mainly on A23, A22 corridor. And of course people have to come down into the valley, they need transport. And the parents need transport by car to take their children, they can't rely on the public transport. Croydon, I think if we are going to develop Croydon, I've always said that we need proper links to A25. We need to improve our infrastructure in Croydon, which is very poor at present. In Purley we are really suffering quite badly from it. And examples from Shanghai and Beijing, all their motorworks and the railway systems, and new railway stations are built like airports. Seriously, they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. My personal view is that the democratic system has gone too far. We have to consult the community, we have to consult the membership or whatever, and because of that we have all the inquiries, we have all kinds of things which is stretching the development process. It's just delaying. Things get built 15 or 20 years after they get planning permission. The airport, and I've seen so many examples. In Hong Kong, you get a site and within 4 weeks the building starts construction. The system is different. I think the planning system, we got to change it. Funding, yeah. Where is the funding coming from? How are we going to resolve all these flooding problems? Where is the money coming? There's so many strategies Croydon has produced in the past few years, and I've been involved in quite a few of them as well. Nothing materializes. It's all because of lack of funding. Will something happen to Wellesley Road improvements? Will we have £50 million? I hope so. The funding is a big problem, isn't it? I don't know how long it will last, but that's the biggest problem at present.
We're here just to represent our Christian group, and we want to promote the Christianity in the London area. We're from Croydon, and we're very keen to see that the retention of Christian churches is made a priority in the core strategy. That's why we're here.
So my name's Liz Marsden. I live in Purley, in Old Lodge Lane. I was actually born in the same house that I've lived in all my life, although I have been abroad a lot. But I'm interested in seeing a lot more regular bus services, particularly in areas like along Higher Drive, the whole ridge up to Kenley, and the Kenley Aerodrome is not served by any buses. Also, I think, just a minute, renewable energy I think the building plans, it said in the core strategy that there is going to be no renewable energy target. It's going to rely on carbon reduction targets. So I think there should be renewable energy targets as well, because then you're increasing microgeneration, which is going to be a major solution to the energy problems that are going to occur. The other thing is, it's absolutely shocking, the recycling target, or the current recycling of 76% going to landfill. You can enhance the facilities all you like, but unless you actually have a public awareness campaign or an education campaign, and also carrot and a stick, have penalties or reduce the regular rubbish collection and have more frequent recycling collections, that's the only way you're going to actually encourage people to recycle. But generally, I think the future is green necessarily, so if Croydon wants to see itself as a progressive borough, then it should really focus on that area.
I'm Jay Ginn. I'm a member of the Croydon Greenbelt Action Group and also the Green Party. I haven't read all through the document yet, but looking at the posters I can see that there's a lot of awareness of the need for a sustainable community. I'm pleased to see that there are plans for more cycling, walking and public transport. I'm pleased to see the council is aware of the need for reducing waste and recycling, but I'm not sure they're going to go far enough with it, and I'm particularly worried that they may not do enough to reduce car use and encourage local shopping and small shops that people can walk to. I'm not sure they're doing enough to encourage parents not to take the children to school by car. Cycle lanes are not safe at the moment because, well, they're very narrow and there's usually potholes on the edge of the road, and also you have to keep swerving out to avoid parked cars in official parking bays, which in my view shouldn't be allowed on a cycle route. But my biggest worry of all, I think, is the South London Waste Plan, because although we're not being told the details, I suspect some form of thermal treatment is planned. Now, it may be possible that there's a thermal treatment that is safe, but I'd need to be convinced of that, and I'd want to see the results of the monitoring of emissions before I was happy to endorse it. I think the council has to run tests on the various technologies that are being proposed, and they've got to be 24-hour tests, and they've got to be 24/7, that is. They've got to include start-up and shutdown of plant, which occurs, and make sure that in all these the results are made public, and they're peer-reviewed by independent scientists, not just approved by people who have an interest in showing that they're safe. And I hate the car scrappage scheme because it's encouraging more cars to be produced. And I think we should be cutting back on car production and diverting the jobs into green technology instead. So we should have cheaper PV cells being produced so that people can generate their own electricity. And that will create jobs if we do that. And solar heating for water, again, there's jobs in that. Most of the systems you buy come from Germany. Why aren't we producing this in Britain? Why aren't we a leader in this green technology?
My name's Christian Riss. I'm a member of the Green Party in Croydon. My particular interest is in transport issues, and what I'd love to see to develop for the future is to have a fully integrated long-distance transport system based around East Croydon, and to that end I'd like to see a National Express coach station very near to East Croydon station, which would complement the destinations offered by East Croydon. For example, coaches going to places like far afield as Dover, Southampton, Bristol, Wales and cities in the north of England. So like that, Croydon would have a truly wonderful capacity for travelling anywhere you like in the country without using the car. Thank you.